What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Today we're rave riding. You know what I'm saying? What we're doing is we are riding the waves when it comes to the rumors of the Mercado. They're up and down. They're Pogba, they're Milinkovic Savic, they're Jorginho, they're Big Z. We're going up and down, riding which one we're going to land on when it comes to today. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the bianconerizonechannel. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it is Tuesday, May 10th, 2022, and of course I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news that you care about each and every day. Before we do that, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Make sure you join our community, what we're doing here, guys, and also consider joining the member squad. All the videos, the lives, all that good stuff are brought to you by the members that we have today. Their support really makes it all possible for us to do this, so consider joining the member squad. You get a lot of cool bonuses. You get to join the Discord. You get to join us in what we're doing here. Actually, you know what? I'll throw it up for you real quick on the screen. Let me throw it up there. Where is it? Right there. And that's some of the stuff that you have. I know the graphics are a little bit wonky, but it is what it is. So the very first level is $2.25 per month. You get loyalty badges, you get the emojis, you get the Discord members chat. Then you move it up to $3.40 a month. You get loyalty, you get all that stuff. Plus you get a monthly wallpaper. And then if you go to the top tier, which is $5 per month, you get all that combined from the previous ones. Plus you get a giveaway priority. And in that giveaway priority, you get 5 times the chance to end up winning whatever we're doing giving away on the channel. It's a really cool way to give back, or for us to give back to you, as well as for you to support the channel by being a member of the bianconerizonechannel members club. Consider doing that and joining today if you haven't already. Like I said, it's cheaper than a cup of coffee that you get every day at your overpriced store. That would be Starbucks if you're here locally. Like I said, I guess I shouldn't be giving. That's not really a positive thing, so I guess it doesn't count as a free advertisement for them. But if they want to, I'll say all the positive things about them as well. Anyway, let's get into it. What news do we have for you for today? It's I wouldn't say a doozy, but we've got some big news coming your way. First up, we're back on the Milinkovic Savic train. We've been doing the Paul Pogba thing for the last couple of days, but today we're talking about Milinkovic Savic, some of the latest updates regarding him. First up, we have Tuttosport talking about Juve and Milinkovic Savic, saying that Juve want to try for Milinkovic Savic, but only if Lotito is open to the possibility of including players in the deal. 60 to 70 million euros is not feasible given the investment that they had made in the deal that they did with Fiorentina for that of Vlahovic. The names of the possible players in the negotiations with Lotito could be Artur, I guess I should say Lazio, not Lotito, but it's one and the same. Artur, Rugani, McKennie, and that of Fagioli. That's the first way to start off here. I'll be honest, if that's where we're starting it off and that's what we're looking at, and Juventus cannot pay the full wage, and I understand probably not going to get a deal done where it's going to be a multiple payment over years. Maybe it will be. We don't know, especially given the current climate. Juve may be in an uphill battle, especially if the likes of PSG and Manchester United are serious about trying to bring him in. So we'll continue to adjust that. Also, just to touch on it, Artur Rugani, people don't care if they go. Rugani is a player that's liked by Maurizio Sarri there. Could that be a good, little option to help bring that down a little bit? Maybe. Weston McKennie would be one that I would hate to see, because if you've been following us on Twitter, make sure you follow me at Justin Sofer on Twitter, as well as Julian Genotti. He's the guy who, and Alejandro, of course. But Julian Genotti was the one who tweeted out, if you notice, that the percentile of the goals that have been scored this season, I think 40% by our midfield are all from Weston McKennie. I think is what he said, around that number. That's a massive, massive number from one player to be doing all of that and for him to be injured right now. Hopefully he'll be back for the match tomorrow. We'll see. That was what we were hoping to build to. If not, it'll be a slog, right? All right, let's continue on, though. And then you have Fagioli as well. We'll talk about his situation. Next up, we have some comments made by that of Lotito and speaking to Rai Sport, and he's trying to shut down all of this stuff when it comes to Milinkovic Savic. He says, Milinkovic Savic is up for sale. You people always talk about money. I talk about the technical qualities of the players. Milinkovic is not for sale. I value him highly. I've never put him up for sale. Is there a for sale sign? In order to buy, you need someone to sell. And he goes on to say, I really respect Milinkovic. He can make a difference, and I have a good relationship with him. If a top team in the world asks for him, I'll ask the player what he wants to do. In my club, there's human value first and then financial value. So Lotito's coming out, planting his flag in the ground, saying that Milinkovic Savic ain't going anywhere. I don't care what you say. The one thing I'll say to this, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when we come to the end of the season and we come to the end of the Mercado and he's not potentially really being pushed out there on the Mercado, especially given the situation with the renewal, whatever. And then if he wants, or obviously he already signed on for a pretty decent amount of time, but at the same time, if he's going to be remaining at Lazio, there's a lot of details that need to be worked out. I don't believe it. I think he'll be up for sale, and I think Juventus are going to be in the running for him, and obviously he's target number one. Let's continue on, though. Next up, the Serbian coach actually speaks on the situation of Milinkovic Savic, all that's going on with him right now. And he had some pretty strong praise for Juventus in doing so. Here's what he said. He said, I tell him to go to Juventus because Juventus is an institution and Vlahovic already plays for Juventus. Sergej is a perfect player for Allegri's team. I watch every Juve match and a midfielder like Milinkovic is missing. Sergej has physique, assists, goals, and knows the Italian league well. I'm rooting for Milinkovic Savic at Juventus, but it doesn't depend on me. The intentions of Agnelli and Lotito will count. I think Dusan and Sergej will have talked about the possibility, and I'm sure Vlahovic would be delighted in having in the team, but it will be depending on Juventus and that of Lazio. So just some high praise for Juventus for the situation there, saying that Juventus would be a perfect match to see him. And, there would be a positivity. That's another aspect. I don't know how strongly this aspect even really matters, to be honest. But there is the aspect of Vlahovic and Milinkovic Savic playing on the same team and working on that chemistry, building that up, also having the chemistry from the Serbia National Team. So one, you bring that to Juventus, and that helps, obviously, automatically helps him get going. But then also, vice versa. It works both ways. That can help both teams out. Both of them are playing together more. It'd be a great move for the future. Let's continue on. Then we go, and we're going to move to our guy, Di Maria. It's been a second since we really talked about his current situation. We have some updates there. Toto Pasa gives some comments there saying, my idea is to play one more, and this is him speaking Di Maria's actual statements, saying, my idea is to play one more year in Europe and to get to the World Cup in the best way. If I get called up and then go back to Argentina. I don't know if PSG want me to stay. If not, I will see what is out there. So definitely, right now, basically I don't want to say putting the gauntlet down, I'm basically saying, PSG, come renew me if you want me. If you want me for another year, if you want that, I think there's a clause for like a one more year to be added on. Go ahead and call it. If not, I'm going to find my next home, and I'm going to find it quick. Which, of course, we want it to be Juventus. And then Di Marzio. Di Marzio has an update on the situation, saying Di Maria confirms the possibility that he could sign for just 1 year, precisely so that he can fulfill his desire to end his career in Argentina. Contacts with Juventus continue. So that's one bit of an update right there, basically saying that he could only play for 1 more year if he wanted to. If that's all he wanted, he'd just stay 1 more year, play 1 year at Juventus, sign that contract. I was under the expectation that maybe they would have to guarantee 2 years to get him on, which would be fine. Honestly, it would be fine for Juventus to do that. But it seems like he'd be okay with 1 year, just because he's so dead set on playing for Argentina one more go around. Let's continue on. Now we have to get into the Pogba situation again. We talked about it the last couple of days. There's more updates. Alfredo Padula is coming, saying that in recent days, there have been a meeting between Juve and Pogba's entourage just to understand the situation. Juventus would like the idea of bringing the Frenchman back to Turin, and his availability is there, but there is a limit. Juve cannot go beyond an offer of 7 to 8 million euros per season as a fixed base plus bonuses. It is true that Pogba would be willing to lower his current 15 million euro wage, but here it would be a mega discount, practically at 50%. And this is where Juventus could be hurt, basically, in the struggle to get him over PSG, because PSG will just throw money out like no other. Juventus don't want to go over 7 or 8 million. If it's me, maybe if they're easy bonuses, you can get to like 10. then maybe that seems reasonable enough for him to end up doing that. How much does he really want to come to Juventus? Is he willing to take that much of a pay cut, especially if you have the likes of PSG that are willing to pay that kind of money? We talked about Man City. They seem to be out of the race, but if PSG are willing to pony up the money, I can't really fault him for, continuing to have life-changing money for his future and for, even his kids or whatever have down the line there. I get it. I understand it. So we'll see what happens. I still think, to me, if I'm arranging them in order, it's Milinkovic Savic is number one. Pogba is a close number two, but there are other issues going on there with Paul Pogba that we'll have to see. Milinkovic Savic, you're ponying up money at the beginning, but the wage is not going to nearly hurt you as much as that of Pogba would be. Let's continue on. And this one, I'm going to need to get my reading glasses out, I think, for this one. Because when we made the graphics, I don't know what we're doing. But here we go. Nico Balice had some... It's been a while since I said that name, right? Nico Balice had some comments about the defenders that Juventus are looking at. And there's a plethora of them. He gave a little bit of a status update of each of them, especially given Chiellini's situation that he is leaving at the end of the season. And so let Grandpa Justin over here read this and squint his eyes a little bit. Juventus are in contact with Badiashili's agent to find a contract agreement. There are no agreements or contacts with Monaco as of yet. So there's that one. Then it comes to Bremer, who I think would be probably one of my top options. I know I talked a little bit yesterday about Skriniar. I don't know why I thought I said it, but I totally blanked on it. Not his weights, but to buy him would be pretty high. I'd imagine Inter would probably demand around 50 million euros if they're not. He's valued at 70. He's got a year left on his contract at the end of June. So we'll see what happens. And also he's, I think somebody pointed out, and I forgot to say it. Yeah, he's also the captain of Inter, or the, probable captain of Inter going into the next season. So we'll see. Anyway, back on this though, Bremer, he has an agreement in principle with Inter for some time, but the Nerazzurri have not yet satisfied Torino. Juventus will try for real to understand what could be in the margins for a deal. That'll be a difficult one though. As we know, Cairo doesn't want to do anything to help Juventus, so we'll see if that can get done. Gabriel at Arsenal is another upper tier option, so they could have a surprise deal when Artur Artur operation, but now he has earned his place, and Arteta doesn't want to give him away. So it seems more likely that Gabriel will end up staying at Arsenal, and it's looking a little bit dimmer, the possibility to swap them out. Koulibaly, which I don't even know why we're mentioning this, to be honest, I'll just read it. Koulibaly, 1 year to go. De Laurentiis would ask Juventus twice as much as any other club because he is a trash human being. But there have been phone calls with Ramadani, even more than one. So Juventus have made contact with him. I don't see it happening. That's why I'm not really going to go too much into this. It ain't happening, right? Then we have Guardiola, who is a Croatian defender from 2002. He's from Leipzig. He's expensive, but Juventus are studying him as well. And then Tiate, among the revelations of the championship in Belgium, they are sure that Juventus are also on him. So there's a couple other names to throw in there, as well as the top ones, but I think Bremer, Gabriel, those are names that you definitely want to end up paying attention to. And then, of course, that of Badiashile. So we'll see what happens there, and we'll continue to follow it for who could be the heir to Chiellini. The heir to Chiellini is De Ligt, but you know what I mean. The guy to come in to fill that spot as well. Continuing on, Gazzetta dello Sport has an update giving the Fagioli situation and some comments that he made. He had multiple comments, I guess. Yesterday he had comments, today he's got comments. He's got comments everywhere. He says, I'm ready to play in Serie A. Where? I don't know. It's not up to me, of course. If Juve keep me, I'm very happy. Juve is Juve. I've matured and I'm ready to show that the faith in me is right. So the Italian Modric will come to Juventus and will be able to lead Juve to glory. I will gladly renew with Juve. It always depends on the trust they show me. If I don't stay in Turin and I have anything to do, if I have to do another year on loan, I would gladly do it at Cremonese. I've had a great time here. So we'll see what happens. It seems more and more likely that he'll be playing in the Serie A next year, either with his team that he got to Serie A from Serie B of Cremonese, or he could come to Juventus. We'll continue to monitor that. Obviously, the situation completely intertwined with Allegri, and then also with his other, I'd say competitors, but also could be teammates of Maretti and, of course, Rovella. And then the last bit of news for today is that of Artur, talking about his situation. Tutto Sports reporting that Jorginho could only join Juventus if Artur leaves Turin in the summer, perhaps on loan. So definitely for the people that are interested in bringing in the likes of Jorginho to Juventus, Artur would have to go. It seems that Artur is more and more likely to be sold in this mercado. He's probably one of the few players that while he's not really doing much for Juventus, he probably still is of interest to some of the other clubs out there. We know Arsenal's definitely interested in him, and he could bring in Jorginho if they do that. We'll see. I know people fluctuated on their feelings of Jorginho as a player. Definitely a little bit lower, I feel, right now than they have been. But if you strike out on Milinkovic Savic, if you strike out on Frankie De Jong, if you strike out on Pogba, even though Frankie De Jong's one that I still don't know how I truly feel if he's a serious contender there. But if you strike out on Pogba, Milinkovic Savic, Jorginho might be one of your best bets that you got left to go. I don't know. You may not be happy about it, but it is probably the truth. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments section. That'll do it for today's edition of the news. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below, covering all the topics we talked about. Milinkovic Savic, what do you think about the update going on there? Is Lotito going to be a barrier, and do you think we need to move on? As well as Pogba, and then the defenders that we talked about as well. Could they be coming to Juventus? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you follow bianconerizone at bianconerizone on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Follow me at Justin Sofro. We'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.